Yesterday, those of us who prefer the world mushroom cloud free had something to worry about. Donald Trump responded to a couple-day-old North Korean provocation in his usual manner via tweets. Tweeting this, and if you haven't already seen this, we swear he actually tweeted this. It seems made up, but it's true. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un just stated that the nuclear button is on his desk at all times. Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a capital letters nuclear button, but it is much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works. My capital button works.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
I think he actually thinks that that's what that button does. I mean, thankfully, it gets him a Diet Coke, but he forgets.
Yeah. Okay. What do you say to a tweet like that? Any other president, it would have been the biggest scandal of their administration by an order of magnitude. It is 10 times crazier, no, 100 times crazier than the craziest thing Barack Obama ever did. But by the way, I mean, look, so George Bush did worse things. He invaded Iraq, hundreds of thousands of people died. But even George Bush knew that he was not that bright. That's why he would get the word of the day. And sometimes he'd accidentally tell you. And sometimes he'd get it wrong and then he'd be embarrassed, right?
But he wanted to learn.
Right, he wanted to learn and he knew that he wasn't that bright. I remember one time he came out and said, now they disassembled. That means to lie, right? No, that means to take apart. Okay. But he was embarrassed by that, right?
It's the truth.
So, but Trump is not bright enough to realize how stupid he is. So he puts that tweet out like, I got him, my button's bigger. You know what I'm saying? My hands are big, my button is big, much bigger than his, and it definitely works. Everybody will tell you, there's no problems down there. He said that during a debate, remember? About his actual genitalia.
He didn't just, okay.
And the Republicans still voted for him.
Okay. We have an international button measuring contest going on right now, but it wasn't just the size of it. He said, and it definitely works. I know that this has nothing to do with the nuclear policy, and it's a personal thing. A lot of people across the country suffer from it, but it doesn't work. That much comes through here.
Who screams to the whole world, my button works?
And I just think, like, it's one thing I know conservatives are gonna be like, look at libs. They're getting so emotional about the possibility of millions of people being incinerated. But imagine if you were one, like, I'll try to appeal to conservatives. Imagine if you're one of the thousands of American servicemen and women currently stationed in South Korea or even in Japan, and you're close to the DMZ, and you are already deathly afraid every day of the possibility of war breaking out because you know that within hours, hundreds of thousands of people could likely die, and that's without nuclear weapons. But now you read a tweet, it pops up on your feed because maybe you like Trump, maybe you voted for Trump, and he's threatening to launch nukes at a nuclear-equipped madman, another nuclear-equipped madman. How do you think that those service people feel every day wondering if they will be obliterated like that because of what this man-child is talking about on Twitter?
No, we got to go to the Mike Allen story from Axios. So he's got an insider at the White House saying, quote, every war in history was an accident. But here's where it gets devastating. You just don't know what's going to send him over the edge. That's someone who works inside the White House saying, you guys don't understand. This guy, he could literally push the button. You don't know what's gonna send him over the edge. We're on the brink of nuclear war and you don't get it. Here's more. And advisors say we are in a hair trigger environment and this is potentially a shooting war with nuclear risk. It's people next to Trump trying to tell the rest of the country, the rest of the world, and those service members and the poor South Koreans that are in the firing line, you guys aren't getting it. You think he's crazy and stupid. You have no idea how crazy and stupid he is. And he's sitting there having conversations about whether we should nuke people. One advisor said, what intel analysis or foreign policy advice leads to employing this as a tactic, referring to the tweet? In other words, he won't listen to anyone. He's not listening to intelligence advisors. He's not listening to the experts. He just goes out there because he's just, I fear I'm repeating myself, but as much as cable news has derided Trump, They still don't get it. I see them and I see smart people. I saw it yesterday on TV trying to analyze his strategy. There is no strategy. He's preposterously dumb. And he's petulant and he's a child. And he has the mentality of again, I feel bad insulting kids. As Steve Bannon said, of an 11-year-old. So people inside the White House are saying, no, you don't get it. He actually is considering doing this. It would kill millions of people, you don't get it. So it's both like funny because who talks about their button and how big it is and how it works, etc. And it's at the same time not remotely funny. And the guys inside the White House are trying to tell us it's not funny. He is that dumb. He will do things you think, oh no, he won't do that. There is no such thing in the Trump world as, no, he won't do that. Yes, he will. We got to get him out right away. We can't have all those people die because we have a man-child in office.
I mean, I know that you're not supposed to say it, seems irrational, whatever, but yeah, he needs to be taken out of office. Like, and I know it's not gonna happen because the Republicans care more about party and dismantling Social Security. They think that their chances would be hurt if they took him out. They don't care about the country, they care about that. But they need to take him out. And if not, God, I hope that there are enough reasonable Republicans still in office to at least pass a law banning first use of nuclear weapons. It was something that Barack Obama was apparently considering, then backed off from because of military officials or whatever. That was a huge failure on his part. But that law needs to be passed today, and it needs to be strong enough to not just restrict someone like Donald Trump, but whichever president comes after him. Doesn't matter if it's Democrat, Republican, third party, whatever. There should be no nuclear first use. It's something that's becoming increasingly common in the world. It needs to be the case here as well, because there is no first use isn't good enough if you also will be annihilated in the return fire from someone like North Korea or possibly one of their allies. That needs to be passed today if we can't at the very least take him out.
You just watched the video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.